Okay, good morning, all of you. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we have discussed in last classes, this is transient response analysis in our second order control systems. And today we will discuss, these are the basic specification of this transient response analysis in the second order control system. Okay, the topic is transient response specification of second order control system. Okay, so in this part we have discussed in last classes, there are some topics are available. This is rise time. Okay, this is maximum overshoot, peak time, settling time. So these are the basic different terms is coming in the transient response analysis also. Okay, so first we know that is rise time. Number one, this is rise time, and this rise time we have to represent, this is t suffix, that is r. Okay, so this rise time, it is needed, basically we have to calculate either the result is 10% to the 90%, or something it is also changes, that is 0 to 100% of the desired value. Okay, so this rise time, it is the time needed for the response to reach the desired percentage, either 10 to 90%, or others is 0 to 100%. So this time needed, that means these are the basically time needed for the desired response. Either we have to consider 0 to 90%, or any other format, that is 0 to 100%. So this time, it is calculated by the form of the second order control systems. By the equation we know that this is Ct, that is equals to 1 minus e to the power zeta omega nt divided by 1 root over of 1 minus zeta square sine omega n root over of 1 minus zeta square into t plus phi. So these are the basically expression of the time response analysis of the second order control system. Expression of the rise time equations of the second order control system. So now we have to calculate, and previous classes we have to demonstrate these equations step by step. We have to apply the value of, that is CT, that is equals to 1. Then we have to calculate the value. We have to put CT is equal to 1, this one, and what the cutting. The value is coming finally. You have to when measure, this is rise time, that is TR, that is equal to pi minus phi divided by omega n root over of 1 minus zeta square. Okay, so and we have to know this phi, this is equals to also tan inverse root over of 1 minus zeta square by zeta. This expression we have to learn in our previous last classes. Okay, so these are the basically equation or expression of the rise time of the transient response analysis of the second order control system. And here the time is, sorry, the time is needed. We have to calculate the result 10 to 90%. Another one is the 0 to 100%. So these are the basic conditions for the rise time, that is TR. Okay, is it clear, all of you? Is it clear? Is it clear or not? Please respond me, anyone? Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is clear.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can go next. Next, number 2. It is a maximum overshoot. Okay. Number 2 is maximum overshoot. This is represent, that is MP, and another one is the peak time. This peak time we have to represent TP. So these are the two terms. One is the maximum overshoot, MP. Another one is the peak time, that is TP. So what is maximum overshoot? So any underdamped system, any underdamped systems, when the basically system is present in oscillations, okay, during the transient part analysis. So it is a time response, being time, some time is requirement for the steady state. So in that case, this instance of the timing of the output exceeds its desired value, which is basically called the desired value of the maximum output. So this desired value of the maximum positive deviations of the output, it is basically known as the maximum overshoot. And this maximum overshoot we have to denote it here, that is MP. Okay, so just wait. This MP, that means it is equal to CT maximum value of the deviations minus of 1. So what is the basic percentage of this calculation of this maximum overshoot? This is CT max minus 1 by 1 into 100. So these are the basically called the maximum overshoot. So I am repeats again. What is the maximum overshoot or MP? any under-damped system, it presents oscillations during the transient part of its time response analysis. So in that case, this output exceeds the desired value, while at some other instance of the output is lower than the desired value. So this maximum positive deviations, okay, of this output, it is called the maximum overshoot. Okay, so just wait, I am drawing a picture, so this is basically clear view. This is basically another one. This is okay, something like that. These are the basically starting point here. That is 0. So initially it is increases, then peak value, then deviation. This pattern. This pattern. Okay. Something like that. Okay. So this axis we have to represent the time. This is starting point. The value is 0. We represent here, that is the CT. Okay. So these positions, this position, it is called the maximum overshoot. These positions. Okay. And here you can see these positions when 0 to result is 0 to 90% or 0 to 100%. This is basically called for the TR. We have discussed in number 1, that is TR means rise time. Okay. And another one, this point to this point, it is we have to call, that is peak time, that is TP. This TP, that means the peak time. Okay. And this value, it is called the maximum overshoot. Okay. These are the basically simultaneously we have to calculate it here. These are the level, and we have to know when this is also steady state result, that means stable, near to the stable. So value is called, we have to here 100% is stable. Okay, so these are the basic structures of the transient response analysis of a second order control system. So here 3 terms we have to learn, that is TR, that is the rise time. So when the rise time it is needed, time is needed for the response to each of the, that is 10 to 90% or 0 to 100%. And another one is the TP, that is response for the peak time. This peak time, it is also related our maximum overshoot error, that is a maximum overshoot MP. So this MP, that is equals to CT max minus 1. These are the basically percentage calculation of the maximum overshoot. Okay. It is clear all of you what is maximum overshoot and what is rise time, and another one is the peak time. So in this peak time, we have to represent the peak time. Just wait. Peak time we have to represent, that is TP. This is equals to TP, that is equals to the pi by omega n root over of 1 minus zeta square. Okay, so this is basically expression, output expression of the peak time Okay, any transient response analysis in the second order control systems. Another one, number third, it is settling time. What is number third is settling time. We represent here, that is TS. So what is settling time? First you have to know. So any underdamped system, that is magnitude of the oscillation is present in the output time response, and it decays exponentially the time constant. Here the time constant we have to use, that is 1 by, that is time constant. It is 1 by zeta omega n. Okay, so here where one graphical structures we have to follow. Something like that. This one. Okay, so this is 0 and this is the basically a stable, that is of 1 positions, and these are the certain deviations in equal deviation, which is the represent for the value of the zeta, and this is the percentage of the maximum overshoot, percentage of MP we have to represent here. These are the higher level of the 100%. So we have to calculate it. These are the basically different step, 0%, 10, 20, 30, 50, and so on. These are the deviations. Okay, so this any underdamped system of this magnitude of the oscillations is present, the output is time response of the decay is exponentially, that is 1 by zeta omega n. So these are the basically, here you can see starting point 0, the value is changes is equal for the zeta. Okay, and the according to the percentage of overshoot error we have to calculate it from here, and we have to input it in the graphically format. These are the basically output waveform for the settling time. So this settling time, it is for the second order control systems. We have to written this settling time for a second order control system is approximately 4 times the time constant. This is time constant of the system. So the equation is, sorry, four times. Okay, so we represent that is TS, that is equals to 4 into 1 by zeta omega n. So, okay, so these are the basically expression for the settling time of the any second order control system. So this settling time for any second order control system is basically approximately 4 times of the constant of the system. So this TS that is equals to 4 times into 1 by zeta omega. Okay, this is clear all of you? Up to this part it is clear. We have to discuss previous one, that is transient response specification of the second order control system, that is rise time TR. Then we have to learn that is the maximum overshoot. Okay, that is MP. We have to express the percentage of the maximum overshoot value, and we have to learn these are the basically transient peak value also. Another one, that is a peak time, we have to calculate it from here, and last we have to learn settling time, that is TS. Is it clear all of you? No one is response me. Is it clear or not? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
So is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so please respond me because I don't know you are present in class or not. So I am only one person, those who am take the classes. So please respond me. Okay, so next we have to know another. At that time we have to discuss that is a step input response analysis for the second order control system. Now we have to discover that is unit ramp input function. So the topic is time response of a second order control system to unit ramp input function. Okay. So the input is unit ramp input function. That means the RT, it is equals to the, that is also 1. That is RT, this is equals to 1. And we know that that is the function of the unit ramp input function, that is RS, that is equals to 1 by a square. So we easily written the expression of the unit ramp input function for the second order control system, that is CS, that is equals to 1 by a square into omega n square by a square plus 2 zeta omega ns plus omega n square. Okay, so these are the basically expression for the second order control system for the unit step response, unit ramp input functions also. Okay, so in these equations we have to calculate step by step. Previously we have to know that the value is coming, that is Ct equals to 2 zeta omega n minus e to the power zeta omega nt by omega n root over of 1 minus zeta square into sine omega n root over of 1 minus zeta square into t plus phi. These are the basically output expression of the unit ramp input functions in the time response analysis. Okay, and in that case we have to calculate another is the steady state error. So steady state error with functions we have to know 2 into zeta by omega n. Okay, so these are the output equations of the time response analysis of the second order control system for the unit step function. So what is the output are coming? Just wait. Something like that. So these are the starting point. Gradually increase. Then these are the basic pattern. 0. This is basically output equations and with respect to the timing also. Okay, and in that case here you can see basically this point to this point, these are the error it is called, that is steady state error. And this is ESS, this is equals to 2 times of damping factor by omega n. And these are the maximum value of this output from here, and then this is called the lagging time of the unit ramp input functions also. Okay, so please remember these things also. This is a time response analysis of the second order control systems about the unit ramp input function. We know that the functions of the unit ramp input, that is RT, that is equals to 1. The function is RS equals to 1 by a square. These are the output equations, that is the output of the second order control system, that is CS, that is equals to 1 by a square into omega n square by a square plus 2 zeta omega ns plus omega square. So when we have to convert step by step, that is why we have to rewriting the equations in the partial fraction, and we have to done the Laplace inverse transformation functions. The output is coming, that is CT, that is 2 zeta omega ns minus this one also. And we have to calculate the equation, that is steady state error. This is equals to 2 times of damping factor divided by omega n also. Okay, this is clear, all of you? This is clear. Another one functions we have to learn, that is impulse input functions also. Next, another, this is time response of a second order control system to impulse input function. So we know that in the unit impulse input functions, the expression that is equals to Rs equals to, that is unit, that means 1. So the output is coming output of a second order system, that is Cs. This is equals to omega n square by a square plus 2 zeta omega ns plus omega n square. So when this is a square, this is called, that is basically second order system. When this is s cube is coming, that is third order, and so on. Okay, so in your syllabus only first order and second order system it is present. Another it is, all of you also learn, that is higher order control system equations. Okay, so now we have to rewriting these equations. These are the number 1 equation. So equation 1, rewriting the term, that is a square plus 2 zeta omega ns plus omega n square, as we have to change this equation in that pattern, that is s plus zeta omega n whole square plus omega n square into 1 minus zeta square. So easily you have to changes this lower part into this pattern, because you have to calculate it. The equation is also coming, these are the basically same as. So now we have to changes, this equation is coming, that is Cs equals to omega n square by, we have to changes this equation. So that means coming s plus zeta omega n whole square plus omega n square into 1 minus zeta square. Okay, now next line we have to separated these equations. That means first is omega n square by omega n root over of 1 minus zeta square dot another one omega n root over of 1 minus zeta square divided by this one, that is s plus zeta omega n whole square plus omega n into 1 minus zeta whole square. Okay, now we have to apply the Laplace inverse transform function in these equations. So next line, taking inverse Laplace transform on both sides of equation 2, something like that. We have to naming this equation, that is equation 2. So now we have to taking the inverse Laplace function in this equation, that is equation 2. The equation is coming that is Ct is equal to omega n by root over of 1 minus zeta square into e to the power minus zeta omega nt into sine omega n root over of 1 minus zeta square t. Okay, these are the basically required output equations of the transient response or analysis of the impulse input functions. Okay, so please remember these things also. So when you have to calculate these impulse response functions, here are three conditions is also coming. Okay, so now the condition is zeta is less than 1, another one is zeta is equal to 1, another one is that zeta is greater than 1. Okay, so when this three factor is coming, that is when damping factor is less than 1. So in that case, we have to written these equations, that is Ct, it is equal to omega n by 1 minus zeta square dot e to the power zeta omega nt into sine omega n 1 minus zeta square into t. So here one graphical curve we have to see representation of the output of the three condition when the zeta is, that is damping factor, is less than 1, another one is the damping factor zeta is equal to 1, and another one damping factor is greater than 1. Okay, this is the reference line. The sorry, the output is coming. We represent the three output wave from here. First one, this pattern, something like that. Another one, this pattern. Another one is this pattern also. Okay, so now we have to changes the color. The changes is coming. That is when zeta less than is 1, this value is coming. When zeta is equals to 1, and number 3 condition when zeta is greater than 1. This is basically time, and we have to calculate it, that is Ct. Okay, that is 0. Okay, so these are the basically three conditions when zeta is equals to 1 and zeta is equals to 1. Another one is the zeta is greater than 1. These three things we have to remember. Okay, is it clear, all of you? Number 2, that is zeta is equal to 1. So when zeta is equal to 1, the equation is coming Ct, that is equals to T into omega n square e to the power minus omega nt. And number 3 is also another one. When zeta is greater than 1, that means the value is coming Ct is equal to omega n by 2 into root over of zeta square minus 1 into e to the power bracket of zeta minus zeta square minus 1 omega nt minus e to the power zeta plus zeta square minus 1 omega nt. Okay, so these are the three conditions we have to remember in the time response analysis for the impulse input functions. Okay, is it clear, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so everyone write your own name and roll number in the chat box also. And Gautam, please take a screenshot right now. And after ending the class, you have to send me. Gautam?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, okay. Thank you. So, any questions or anyone? Because we have covered in the first order system and second order control system in the different format. One is the first order control system. We have to examples we have to take, that is unit step functions, unit ramp functions, impulse input functions, and as well as also we have to discuss second order control system for the unit step functions, unit ramp function, and impulse function also. Next class we have to continue, that is steady state error. This is another one, and also we have to discuss the higher order control system, that means time system, time response analysis for the higher order control systems.